Pentagon News. Today we'll be talking about a dam situation in California. At least 188,000 people have been evacuated from several North California counties after damage to a spillway at the Oroville Dam. The dam, which is the nation's tallest, remains intact, but the emergency spillway, which guards against the overflow of the dam when water levels are high, was eroding Sunday. The damage prompted a mandatory evacuation for cities and counties near Lake Oroville. In the worst-case scenario, one official said, an uncontrollable release from the dam could send a 30-foot wall of water downstream. "Quote unquote, I'm not going to lift the evacuation order until I have a better idea of what that means and what that risk that poses." Officials are waiting until daylight Monday to better assess the situation and decide when it's safe for residents to return. California Governor Jerry Brown issued a state emergency order to help local authorities with the situation and evacuation. What led up to the emergency? Heavy rainfall in North California this winter has filled the Lake Oroville to the verge of overflow. The lake also gets water from the northern Sierra Nevada mountain range, which is experiencing one of its wettest seasons. This has triggered concerns over whether the water could overflow the dam and flood nearby communities. The Oroville Dam provides flood control for the region and is located about 75 miles north of Sacramento. The dam has two spillways, the primary and the emergency spillway, which are channels to leak water out of the lake to prevent overflow, and right now, both have problems. Last week, the primary spillway was damaged by erosion, according to the California Department of Water Resources. Images of the structure showed a massive hole in the lower part of the channel. That hole can't be fixed at the moment. It's 250 feet long, 170 feet wide, and about 40 to 50 feet deep, said Bill Croyle, acting director of Department of Water Resources. "Quote unquote, you don't throw a little bit of rock into it," he said. One of the two emergency spillways is a last resort at Oroville Dam. The emergency spillway is only used if water levels reach 901 feet in elevation. It hasn't needed to be used in its 48-year history until this weekend. Why evacuation order was made? A light flow of water began washing into the emergency spillway Saturday at the volume of water began to increase around 3 p.m. Sunday. Authorities learned that the dam's emergency spillway was also eroding. The erosion of the spillway is dangerous because when you start to erode the dirt and everything else starts to roll off the hill, said Kevin Lawson of California Fire Incident Commander. "Quote unquote, it starts to determine itself if that is not addressed, if that's not mitigated properly. Essentially, what we're looking at is approximately a 30-foot wall of water," he said. Evacuation orders on Saturday sternly warned residents that the erosion could be in large, uncontrollable releases of water from Lake Oroville. Honia's office used the most urgent language. This is not a drill. In ordering residents to evacuate ahead of an impending disaster, residents were told that the emergency spillway is close to failing. The evacuation order included all Yuba County on the valley floor and the city Marysville, authorities said. About 35,000 people from Butte County, 65,000 from Yuba County, 76,000 from Yuba City, and 12,000 from Marysville City evacuated, according to California Fire. Stores closed, shelters opened, local gas stations were swarmed with cars as residents tried to leave the town. Evacuees waited in traffic trying to get out of the low-lying areas. Sean Dennis, who lives 30 miles south of Oroville, spoke to CNN from his car after spending 4.5 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Quote unquote. It was pretty scary just because how fast everything was developing, he said. Me and my wife managed to throw as much stuff as we could into garbage bags, whatever we could find. We got both of our cars and loaded it down pretty well. We're not taking any chances. Police said that despite rumors, there were no reports of looting. For more information, go to CNN.com. And bye. This was Pentagon News, and have a good afternoon.
On Saturday, the Warriors were up against the Thunder. It was the Warriors' first time playing in Oklahoma City Thunder Stadium, meaning Kevin Durant returning back to his hometown. He had joined the Warriors last season, and there had been a rivalry between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook since then. Many of the Oklahoma City Thunder fans hate Kevin Durant for the fact that he left OKC and went to GSW. Many restaurants have also banned Kevin Durant from going and eating in their restaurants. The Golden State Warriors beat Oklahoma City Thunder by 16 points. It was 130 to 114. Another game that took place that day was the Heat versus the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers ended the Miami Heat 13-game winning streak. The Heat are doing especially well this season, even beating the Golden State Warriors, who have only 8 losses this season. Can I borrow a few minutes? Yes. How do you feel about the restaurant banning Kevin Durant?
Actually, I feel really good about it. Kevin Durant has betrayed his team and has left to a really good team. And I think he should have stayed in this team and try to at least win one more win the playoffs this year. But instead, he left OKC.
Do you agree with the petition that people signed to change the town of Durant, Oklahoma to Westbrook?
Yes, I think they should change it to Westbrook because Durant betrayed their fans, and I think they should change the name into Westbrook. In fact, I'm one of the persons who signed the petition.
What do you have to say about Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant is a betrayer. He betrayed his team. They would have at least if he stayed this one last year, they might have a chance of winning the playoffs. But instead, he left.
Thank you for your time.
Just cut it.
Excuse me, can I borrow a few minutes?
Sure.
As you know, the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Golden State Warriors on Saturday night. A restaurant has banned Kevin Durant from eating there. What do you think about this?
I think they made the right decision because Kevin Durant betrayed us. He went to the Golden State Warriors.
There was a petition now signed by many people to change the name of the town of Durant, Oklahoma, to Westbrook. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I do agree because it's like what I said before. Kevin Durant betrayed us. He doesn't deserve to be here anymore.
What do you have to say to Kevin Durant?
Well, Kevin Durant, you betrayed us. We were your fans, but you left us.
There you have it, folks. This is how the OKC fans feel about Kevin Durant. They hate him.
To Pentagon local news. Today we will be talking about Jersey City man charged in a hit and run of 3 people. A 20-year-old Jersey City man has been charged in a hit-and-run crash at 6th and Tonell Avenues that sent 3 people to the hospital last night. Officers arrested Ismail and Oof at his Harvey Avenue home after finding a 2003 Acura with the front end damaged in the front of his residence. The report says 3 victims were taken into the New Jersey City Medical Center where they were treated and released. A police officer reported says, when officers knocked on Elf's door, his father answered and said the 20-year-old would not come to the door. At the father's request, the officers entered the home and immediately arrested the son in his bedroom. The report says, while being led to the police vehicle, Elf became agitated, began screaming, yelling, cursing at the officers, and father told police his son may be suffering medical or physiological problems. So he was taken to JCMC by ambulance. Dave told police he didn't see the victims crossing the street because his girlfriend was showing him something on Instagram and her cell phone as he drove. He said after striking the victims and GF got out of the vehicle, but after seeing there were kids hurt, they both got him back in the vehicle and fled. The report says the police report does not provide the ages of the victims or list details on collision. Thank you. This is local news on Pentagon News.
And also, there might be more snowfall later on. So, let's look at the daily highs and lows of the week. So, Tuesday, it will be a high of 43 degrees with a low of 30. Wednesday, it will be a high of 48 with a low of 27. And Thursday, it will be a high of 38 with a low of 22. And Friday, it will be high of 43 with a low of 26. Then Saturday, it will be a high of 56, which it jumped from 43 to 56, which is actually pretty warm. Then Sunday, it will be 61 degrees, which is actually pretty nice, actually. Then Monday, it will be 55 degrees. That's the highest. Then Tuesday, it will be 53 degrees. Then Wednesday, it will be 50 degrees. But the problem is, on Wednesday, there are some clouds that are probably going to ruin some people's day. So we just hope you have a good day on Wednesday, okay? Just try to survive the rain. So the low on Friday is 26 degrees. The low on Saturday is 37. The low on Monday is 35. The low on Tuesday is 40. And the low on Wednesday is 40. So on Tuesday, the precipitation will be 10% and the humidity will be 56%, which is actually pretty okay. Then Wednesday it will be, no wait, not Wednesday, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So then Friday it will be a precipitation of 0, then humidity of 48. Then Saturday it will be a precipitation of 0, then a humidity of 57, then precip of 10 on Sunday, humidity 62. Monday, precipitation will be 10% and humidity will be 58%, which is actually the humidity is pretty sticky. I mean, you're going to feel like you're like stuck to something. Then on Tuesday, the humidity is pretty high. It's 60%, not degrees. What am I saying? And then on Wednesday, humidity is 67% with precipitation being 40%. So on Saturday, no, not Saturday, Tuesday, at 2 in the morning, it will be 27 degrees. Then at 10, it will be 33, which is actually, no, I meant it's not cold, but it's just like, you know, like it goes from low to high, like from low in the morning to high in the middle. Then at night, it will just be cold, right? So we're looking at a constantly good temperature for the next week. We're gonna look at we're gonna be looking at 40s and 50s all the week long, and 161, which will actually be a pretty nice day that day. I mean, you can go to the beach or something like that when it's 61 degrees, something like that, right? Then on Monday it will be perfectly sunny. So that's the weather forecast for this. So that's the weather forecast for this week.